Hi everyone, it's Heather from Gypsy Crafter Journals. I'm going to do a video today on making some journal cards. I've printed off some pictures from Canva and I'm going to use those to put onto the cards. I've also got a few basic supplies like some seam binding which has been hand dyed in some coordinating colours, some doily, the usual music page and a little bit of normal book page, which is actually from the same book but obviously it's got text on there instead. I've got some scrapbook paper which I think was a freebie from a magazine many years ago, and I like the colours because I thought they went sort of a, I don't know, an olivey type green with a pink. I've got some cards for making the journal, so this is just, it's scrap card and they were offcuts, so I've just cut them down to what I think is a sort of reasonable journaling card size, which is probably just slightly smaller than A6 or around about A6. And because I'm using the pinks, I chose some other pinks and greens. I chose some Distress Oxides in what I think are coordinating colours. Now I haven't used these a great deal. That's the usual one that I use, the Vintage Photo, but we've also got tea dye, which is sort of a pinkier brown. Then we've also got Spun Sugar, which is very pink, the Crushed Olive and the Old Paper, so I'm going to give those a go. But what I did do is get a little bit of scrap card. I often use these offcuts for belly bands, but I'm going to use that just to swatch the colours to see what it looks like. Then I've also got the usual 3-in-1 craft glue and one of my favourite craft glues, which is the Cosmic Shimmer, because it's really quite strong glue. It's an acrylic glue, but it dries clear and it's really good, but it is quite expensive, but I do like that one. And because I'm swatching the different colours, I've actually got some felt rectangles for my Tim Holtz inker, and also, and this is actually some wool felt, which was some offcuts. I bought some offcuts of wool felt, so I'm going to use that as well if I need to, so that I don't contaminate the sponges in between, or the felt in between. Okay, so I'm going to start by swatching some of the colours. I forgot to mention, this is actually a piece of fabric from a monsoon dress that was worn by my daughter when she was a bridesmaid for my sister, and it's so pretty and the colours go absolutely perfectly, so I'll probably use that on them as well, whether that's just for the a little bit of sort of side fabric, or maybe I'll use that if I turn them into tags. I might use that as the sort of tab bit. So anyway, put that to one side. So I think I'll just try swatching some of the colours first, just so I don't get any nasty surprises. I have used these, but I haven't used them a lot. I tend to go back to the brown more than anything. So let's see. I do like that. It's quite nice. So that's the Old Paper, which is quite a sort of light creamy colour. Let's try the Crushed Olive. I think this one might be a little bit too bright. Well, it's not too bad. I think around the edges it might not be too bad. It's quite bright. It's very citrusy. Yeah. Oops, put that to one side. And the Spun Sugar, it's quite dry. Oh, it's very light. Oh, it's like sort of, it's pretty, sort of baby powder pink. Don't know whether you can see that on camera. The lighting's not brilliant here today, so I've got a big lamp on, but it's actually dark outside now. That's really good. That's like a sort of candy pink. It's beautiful. Oh, I do like that. That's very pretty. So that's the tea dye, and that's a much lighter brown, sort of a very creamy brown. So if I go back to my usual vintage photo, which I do like to use quite a lot. Yeah, it's quite dark in comparison. So I like those, I like the colours. I might have to use that one quite sparingly though, because it's a bit more acidy if I use that at all. Actually, I'm not sure. I might give that one a miss today and just stick with those ones. Okay, right then, let's put that away. Okay, so I've moved some things out of the way. I've got rid of the ink that I'm not going to use, and I'm going to start by rounding the corners of some of the journal cards. I think I'll do that on most of them. Now, because this is scrap card offcuts, I have got sort of varying different colours of cream. I did have a couple of white ones as well, but I'm not sure how they're going to turn out. I might stick with the cream. It does make a mess, doesn't it? I don't always round the corners, but I think today I'm going to. See if we can get a few made today. I've been watching a lot of the Shabby Dabby Doodah videos, and she does the mass making, and I think they're fantastic. I'm hooked. I love the fact that she's so productive. So thank you, Tina. Not that you'll ever see my videos, I'm sure, but thank you for the inspiration and the motivation. I do appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to start by tearing some other paper. I think I'll tear a few pieces to start with. That will just add a pop of colour. You can see that it was a freebie on the other side. That's good. Tearing it the wrong way. I do actually like to see the white when it's torn, but I think when you tear, sometimes it bugs me if one side is torn and you see the white and one side you can't, which might not bother other people. Doesn't bother me always, but sometimes it does. Right, so there's a few pieces of that torn up. I think we'll do some of this lovely music paper. It's very thick. Let's give that. Okay. Excuse me, sorry. getting messy already. I like that. Right then, so I've got quite a few pieces torn. I think I'll leave that one large. And there we go. So, excuse me, sorry about that. So what I'll do now, actually, I think I will ink around the actual papers in my usual, and see what that looks like. So we'll do one as normal. I'm going to ink the back as well, because it's card. I'm not actually going to back it on anything, so the part that you journal on will be just the plain card. So that looks nice and vintage, like that. Okay, and quite nice. We'll have a bit of torn doily. Feels like there's two there, but sometimes you can't separate them. There we go. Excuse me. It's tearing already. Right, so okay, so we'll just collage that up. doily. There we go. Right, that's lovely. Now I'll be effectively doing exactly the same thing on the other ones, but just a slightly different colour for the inking of the pages. So I think what I'll do is just move that there. Excuse me. Pop the vintage photo back, and we'll try the spun sugar I think next and see what that looks like. It's much lighter. I'm thinking I might actually have to combine that with some of the brown as well, but I don't know, we'll see. Just look pretty. So I'll pop a little bit on the back, but I might use some of the tea dye excuse me, as well. Because that's not very pronounced, is it? So I think I'll put that back on there. Maybe try a little bit. Yes, no, I prefer that because it's a little bit darker, a bit more vintagey. Tiny bit on the front as well, I think. I do like the pink, but I think it's just a little bit too subtle. So let's put some of that on the music sheet. Okay. Because the doily is quite white, I think we'll pop a bit of pink on that. It's very subtle. I think you'll notice it on here, to be honest. No, not very much. Okay, we shall stick those down. So I hope everyone had a nice Christmas. We have literally just opened the last presents that were under the tree, and it's the 28th today. Just because I don't know, it's an unusual year, isn't it really? So we saved them. They were from some family and some friends. They were lovely. It's nice to extend the present unwrapping a little bit longer. And surprisingly, I didn't get a great deal of craft material this year, probably because I bought everything. There you go. Right, so just a subtle difference there in the shades. So what we're going to do now, I think, is maybe one in the old paper and see how that looks, and then we'll cut out that slightly lighter cream there, which should work well with that, hopefully. Oops, helps if you take the original one off. There we go. This is quite green. So what did everybody get for Christmas then? I'm a pencil addict, and a couple of years ago I had some really nice pencils for Christmas. But because I've sort of had that sort of thing already, I don't suppose there was any, well, there's no need to buy anything else really. Like a child, I enjoy playing with the packaging these days just as much as craft materials, as I'm sure you lot do too. Okay, then if we pick, I wonder whether we should go with the secrets of good singing. Yeah, I think we will. The weather has certainly gone a lot colder here. Not that I'm going out a great deal, but my husband does. It's, yeah, it's decidedly wintry at the moment. Actually, we're going to get the doily in there as well. I think we need both, don't we? I think we need a bit of music sheet too, but that's going to make it quite bulky. So let's take that off. I'm still quite croaky at the moment as well. It is the season. That doesn't really show up on there, so I'm thinking I might have to add a little bit of brown on there. No, it definitely needs the brown. I'll go with a more subtle shade of brown so it doesn't overpower the green. I definitely do prefer it with the sort of vintagey brown shades, definitely. So I'm going to pop a bit of that on there as well. It's got a hint of the old paper. Excuse me. Okay, now let's see how we're going to layer this up. I don't know about that now. Okay, I'd have to be decisive. Okay, right, not great. I'm not overly happy really with that. Hold on. Let's see. Maybe. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, so I'll stick these down. I'm thinking actually I probably should have picked up a little bit of lace as well, but I didn't, so I might have to add some of that or pop and get some from across the room. There. Right, so they're slightly different colour palettes, aren't they, but they're still similar, so quite like that. Got a little bit of, oh, it's cute. Probably take the pink. That's subtle, maybe that one there. Okay, we might be adding a little bit of this. Not sure yet, probably should have made that into a ruffle before I started. Right then, excuse me. Right, so what I'm going to do now is just fussy cut some of the flower motifs on here. I like that one for there. So I took these images from Canva. I've got the Pro account. That's nice. I'm going to do like this pink one. But there are so many different sites, aren't there, that you can get illustrations from. I do want to do more of my own, because then obviously there's a sort of satisfaction. I'm just going to kiss cut this one. Just want to leave a little bit of a border, because if you do your own illustrations, then you have the satisfaction of knowing it's all your own work. I do like that, and I have some of my own illustrations in the Etsy shop. Not a lot, obviously. Don't have a great deal up at the moment at all, but there's certainly something that I like about having my own work available. And I'm just starting out really, making digital papers and journaling cards and whatnot. So I'm sort of learning what works, and the whole putting them together is quite an experience. It's quite time consuming. Finding the right backgrounds to complement the artwork, and also being sort of colour palettes that I particularly like myself as well. So it is time consuming putting together that sort of work, but it's actually very satisfying as well when you've made it and it's downloadable, and then you can just print it and use it as many times as you like, and I really like that. I'm a big admirer of, like I said, Shabby Dabby Doodah, her work, and also Amity Bloom. Her work is just outstanding. I absolutely love her videos, and I love her shop and her gorgeous wallpapers. Oh, it's just absolutely amazing, and I would love to have a really good set of work like that available. But you've got to start somewhere, haven't you? I'm quite early on in my journey when it comes to journaling and YouTube and Etsy journal stuff anyway. I've been an Etsy seller for a number of years, but I haven't actually used this particular shop for a while, so I've only just started to get back into it. Gosh, the fussy cutting is so time consuming, so relaxing though, isn't it? Ooh, bit close to there. There we go, we're getting close now. Yes, Amity Balloon, but also, was it Martina at Teal and Tattered? She does the most amazing videos. I love her stuff, and her shop is gorgeous. She doesn't have many items listed. I know she had an issue with copyright, which again is, I think, is a really good reason for having your own artwork. She was very upfront about her experiences, which I think is really helpful to newbies on the scene like myself. So it was good to hear her experiences and the way she dealt with things. Oh no, I like this. Look at that. Yes, I like that very much. So I think we'll attach that to there. I like that. We may as well get on with that and do it now, actually. Excuse me, but yeah, she does some beautiful videos. I've been very inspired by her. I love her journals, the hardcovers. I love the way she does the painting, which I hope to do myself on camera at some point. We shall see. Try to find time to actually film a video is interesting. I'm actually going to have to go in a minute because I've got to go make a lasagna, vegetarian lasagna. And it takes a while, doesn't it? Food prep's great and it's very relaxing and fun sometimes, but again, it's time consuming, just like YouTube videos. They're enjoyable, but they all take time. Now I love that, and I'm going to keep that there as well. Now, I don't know what people's opinions are on the whole dimensional embellishment thing, but I do like things to be pronounced. I like them to stand off a page because I'm a scrapbooker, and I love journals to be chunky. So I'll be using this 3-in-1 craft glue and hope this is sufficient to stick this down. But I do love my embellishments to be a bit dimensional, but don't they make journals very chunky? Right, that's held it quite nicely actually. I like that, so that's the first one. Now I don't think I'm going to have time to finish fussy cutting these two because I'm going to have to go and make tea, but I really like that one. So there's the first one that is made. I'm going to pause the video and then hopefully come back and finish the other two. Okay, I'm back. It's actually another day because I had to go and make tea for the family, and that took a little while, and by the time I'd finished that and sort of sat down, it was a bit too late to continue finishing the video. So what I did do was fussy cut the images that I'd printed off, but I'm sort of just resuming now. So I've also, because I felt I needed a bit of lace, I needed a bit more texture, I went and fetched a few pieces from the box, some coordinating laces and a little bit of fabric from a couple of fabric sample books. Now I picked this out because I'm thinking I'm going to put these into a journal, and I'm thinking that that goes really nicely. So that was in my sort of embellishment pile, and I quite like that, so I've put that to one side. So I'm going to keep all these things together. So right, continuing on, so I've decided that I'm going to have these fussy cut flowers on here, and I think, oh, this was another little bit of lace I picked up. I like the idea of having a bit of texture on this, so I think I'm going to pop that maybe to the side, and want a little bit of pink, I think. Maybe. Quite like that. Excuse me. you might hear some noises, apart from obviously me clearing my throat periodically. You might hear some noises from downstairs because the kids are awake and they do watch YouTube videos, but they tend to be quite loud YouTube videos. They're the oh, I can't even remember what it's called, but it's where, oh, imposter, something about an imposter, and they can get really, really loud sometimes, because I believe that somebody murders somebody, which sounds quite brutal, an interesting concept, but it does get a little bit loud sometimes, so if you hear some shrieks every now and then, that's probably that. Okay. Got a little bit of that off. And if you hear my stomach rumbling, it's because I've not had my breakfast yet. It's actually quite late, but I decided I'm not actually hungry, but my stomach does seem to be making a few noises. So I apologise for that as well. Right, I quite like that there because I like the pop of pink. And I think I better shorten that a little bit, but I will take it the whole length. There, that's nice, I like that. Now this one, maybe use a little bit of the fabric samples. Quite like that where it's sewn around. I don't sew my projects very often just because I am a little bit idle, possibly. I've got a sewing machine, it's a brilliant sewing machine, and I do use my sewing machine, but it's been sort of packed away in the corner on a trolley for a while, and to be honest, the inclination to get it out is less these days because of the whole sort of pulling it out, having to find space to put it down on my other desk, because this isn't my normal desk where I would work. This has been set up especially so that I could actually do some YouTube videos because I wanted a nicer background. My desk where I work is actually it's a functioning desk. It's great to work on, but it's not the most aesthetically pleasing. It's got ink all over it and things like that, so I would have to sort of clear that area in order to be able to do the sewing, because I use it all the time for work. I don't think layering that's going to quite work. Maybe if I have like a little tiny bit poking up. I don't want to waste the stitching, so what I might do is just take that, and then this might not work. Would be a little bit too bright. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Adventurous. And then, or perhaps maybe have it as a tab. Actually, that works quite nicely. I like that. Have it as a tab at the corner. Yeah, I quite like that actually. And I could layer it up at the back the same. Yeah, we'll go with that. So that can go there. But I think we still need a little bit of colour down here. So maybe this little flower here, let's try just packing that out. For the top maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it sort of needs something in that corner. I don't know. I quite like that though. I think I might stick with that. You know, the more I deliberate, the longer it takes me to do anything. And you know what? That's not a good idea, is it really? Otherwise, I don't know about you guys, but I never get anything done. So let's stick down the flower. Now I haven't inked around the flowers, but I quite like the clean look because it's sort of contrasting with the background. I quite like the cream. So let's stick this down. This could be an enormously long video, and I apologise if it gets boring, but I'm quite new to these types of videos, so I'm just sort of feeling my way really, and I'm just doing what feels okay. I'm sort of trying to get comfortable with the surroundings and doing a video at the same time as having the family in the house, because I think that's, you know, it's got to be the way to go, to be honest, hasn't it? Otherwise we just wouldn't get anything done. So I just need to really get on with things. So the noises, the slight discomfort about having people who potentially would be listening to what I'm doing. I mean, obviously you guys are, but you know, it's different when it's people you know, isn't it? I'm just trying to sort of work through that, embrace the discomfort, and get more done, really. And let's pop. Oh, wrong one. Well, it probably would hold, to be fair, but so if you've got any recommendations for YouTubers that I can watch, then do pop those in the comments below. I currently watch what you can see from my subscription feed, to be honest. I'm not keeping it private because I think, you know, it's nice to share, isn't it? I watch Shabby Dabby Doodah pretty much every morning with a cup of coffee in bed. I watch it on my TV, so I never comment because it's on the TV. But it's brilliant. It's such a lovely way to wake up because it gives me a little bit of inspiration. It's very relaxing. I like her voice, and I love her ethos, her work ethos, because she really gets on with things, and she produces quite a lot of work. So she does these mass makes, and I just think they're absolutely brilliant. Oh no, I really love that. Okay, so what I was saying about filming when you've got family in the house, that was my daughter just telling me about her Christmas decorations, how she's removing them from her room. So I just paused the video because obviously I was discussing something completely different, but you may hear a little bit of that conversation. I apologise if that's annoying. I wish I'd put that on the other way around now. Let's see if we can just remove that and pop it on the other way. There we go. So, because obviously it's, you know, a family house, you just got to get on with things, haven't you, really? And Tina had her daughter on this morning, excuse me, sorry about that, doing a little bit of crafting with her, and I actually really like that. I like the fact that other YouTubers have their children on occasionally, because, you know, at the end of the day, we're still all just mums and or dads or whatever, and we have family, we have things that we do normally, and you know, that's got to continue, hasn't it? So I do I haven't done them for ages, but I do YouTube videos on a different channel because I'm actually a collector of dolls, a particular type of doll. I used to make clothes for those dolls, and my daughter used to come on. I quite like that because you can see the music underneath. And my daughter used to come on and do unboxings with me, and I really enjoyed that. And I don't know why I stopped doing the videos, really, partly because I think I got put off by this whole thing on YouTube about, you know, if it's not is it for children, is it not for children? And I wasn't sure what was happening there. And also obviously finding, because I'm a working business, my filming area was getting crowded, and it was just a bit of a hassle to be honest to make sure that the background was so clear to be able to film each time. But I really enjoyed it when my daughter came on and did some stuff with me. And I think when she ended up going sort of back to school, I then, because she'd done a few videos with me, I then felt a little bit like, well, should I be filming a video without her? Felt a little bit odd. But anyway, I didn't do many videos, but I get some lovely comments on the channel. I really should do another one, to be honest. I did enjoy it. I haven't really done anything with Blythe Dolls for ages. Right, so if we just pop that, excuse me, down there, that's nice because we're getting the texture from the fabric and the lace, and then that can go on there. Yeah, so anyway, if you've got any ideas for YouTube videos, YouTubers to watch, then do let me know. Or if you've got a YouTube channel, let me know, because I do like watching new people. There's only so many hours in a day. I don't always comment on people's videos because like I say, I tend to watch stuff when I'm relaxing. I tend to watch stuff on the television when I'm in bed, funnily enough. So I have a nice cuppa and I watch something on the big screen, and that way I can sort of see what people are doing a bit better. The problem is with watching YouTube videos when you're crafting, you tend to miss half of it. I do listen, I do watch YouTubers, I tend to listen, but it has to be the sort of video where I don't need to concentrate particularly, so it tends to be the YouTubers where I really like their voices, so I can be getting on with other things. So, and I'll listen to like people like Jim Earl Stewart, who does Large Family Table, so sort of cooking advice and stuff like that, and family advice. Right then, so let's put that on there, turn that over, cover the other side up, excuse me. Okay, that's quite nice. It sort of covered up the paper backing. Yeah, lovely. I like that. Okay. So, that's actually turned out really well. So I've got 3 there. I think this video's probably gone on long enough. I'm quite happy with those results. Let's pop the top on that. What I might do is just add a little bit of ink down here. Excuse me. And I think it was this one that I used for this one, just to add a tiny bit more colour to, I like that, yes, that's perfect. Tiny bit of colour to that, and that's it. I think I'm done. I don't know whether that one could probably do with a little bit more. It's quite plain, so I might put that in the pile and then rework on it later. But I'm actually quite pleased with those. They haven't all got tabs, but for a quick make session, well, a quick make wasn't at all, was it? It took me ages. But we've got that one with the fussy cut, is it a wild rose? Anyway, it's pretty. So we've got plenty of journaling space on the back there. Could always collage up on there. And I like the little tabs, so I might put those on the other ones. and that was the darker one using the normal vintage photo, and then this one which is quite light with the slightly greenier old paper, which I quite like, but I think I might end up adding something to the bottom of that, possibly to bring out some of the pink. So maybe, I don't know, we'll play with it later. So there we go, so we've got 3 journaling cards done, brilliant, really happy with that. I'll pop those in my stash, and these will go in the stash of things to join in with that journal when I make it. So thanks very much for joining me. Sorry for all the stopping and starting, throat clearing and all that sort of stuff, and probably the background noises of my stomach and the TV. And conversations and whatever, but I suppose this is real life and this is what normal YouTubers have to deal with. So thanks for joining me, and I hope to upload again soon. Take care everybody, bye.